When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
And Doug.
Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu? Is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
The holidays have arrived at the Home Depot, and we're here to help bring the excitement with decor for every part of your home. Check out our wide assortment of easy-to-assemble pre-lit trees so you can spend less time setting up and more time celebrating. And bring your holiday spirit outdoors with unique decor like one of our Santa inflatables. Whatever your style, find the right pieces at the right prices this holiday season at the Home Depot.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings,
Why are you listening to this show?
the podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Yeah.
Roy, can I get a burnt hand update, please?
Ooh.
It's looking pretty good. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. There's not really much damage to be shown here.
Let me see that thing.
Yeah, look at that.
Where's the actual burn?
All 4 fingers right here.
Oh, the tips.
And the thumb. Yeah, it's on the tips. Wow. But not really much damage.
All right, congratulations.
You got out of it unscathed.
All right, so yes, you blamed, not unscathed, because you blamed your wife for burning your hand.
Yeah, I did.
And I assume that when you got home, you did not return to unscathed. I'm assuming all that gets back to her, does it not?
You think she listens to the show?
No, not her. It just gets back through sources. No?
No, luckily.
Okay, congratulations on that, because it was one of the most offensive things I've seen anyone do around here, blame your wife for your burnt hand. So I wish someone would bring that back to her, and I wish it would cause you trouble at home.
Why?
Because you blamed your wife instantaneously because you came in with a burnt hand when you're an adult human being responsible for your own actions, and you said it was something she said that annoyed me. I'm sure you couldn't even remember it.
I understand that, but why are you trying to wreck my marriage, Dan?
I'm not trying to wreck your marriage.
You did say you hoped that he got home and there was trouble in his marriage.
But because it'd be content. I'd like the content of
But that's his life. He has a child. You want the child to come from a broken home for content?
Here's a child.
I don't want the home to break. I think that they could withstand it through the love in their marriage.
Well, my life is content for the show, so yeah, I guess you're right.
Okay, and you burnt your hand, and now you're fine, and so even that content was a lie, because there was...
A lie?
Well, you don't have any blisters, no one... Did you guys have... Look at his hand, Chris, and tell me you see anything in the way...
It'd be hard to tell.
It was close.
Like if you said to me, where on my hand was I burned? I can't tell by looking. And you need to be able to tell if it's a real burn mark.
Anyway, I feel like before I get to Dolphins talk, because I did want to talk to Chris about how he feels, they will turn every running back in the league into a 200-yard back. Everyone, every week against the Dolphins, if they want to run for 200 yards, you can tell them that that's what you're going to do. You could do it with your backup lineman. You could do it for a bad Carolina team. You could do it with 2 offensive linemen out. Whoever your running back is, he will have 23 carries for 200 yards. It doesn't matter who you put back there.
Every week, the Baltimore Ravens are standing in your historically bad defense argument. Because that team is shite.
I saw the stat given yesterday on the Ravens that there's $280 million in salary cap, and $160 million of it is out for the Ravens. They gave up 37 points again yesterday. That's historically bad. There are a couple of things in the sport that have been historically bad because already over the first month of the season, the Lions are on the verge of being a team that averaged 33 points last year and now more than that this year. And if they did that, not since the 1941 Bears has anyone had an offense that scores 37 by accident because on a bad day in Cincinnati, they'll turn you over 3 times and they'll feel like they left 20 points on the field.
I saw that stat live during the game and I was like, damn. Okay, so I guess they're better without Ben Johnson?
They're the best offense in the league, point total wise, and they got great field position in that game because Browning is a turnover machine.
Kalawasa.
Browning and the Raiders are something that you see can nuke the entire architecture, even if you're Pete Carroll. If your quarterback turns the ball over 8 times, I mean, if it's Jackson Dart, you're going to lose at the Saints because you turned it over 5 times, and I thought that that's how all young quarterbacks look. I don't trust any of those on the road, but Jane Daniels has moved all of that. And C.J. Stroud every week has us going, well, what happened there? You're 24. You're 24 years old. Is it over for you?
He got mad at everyone. He's like, you guys I was trying to be fun and light, and you guys took it in. It's like, you said you're old. Like, you said it.
He said he looked at high school tape of himself, and what he noticed is, oh, look, the ravages of football. They'll slow the body down.
And then he's like, why would you guys take that and run with it? I barely said anything.
The game from yesterday that I actually want to talk about, we'll get back to the Dolphins tomorrow. They really don't deserve our attention.
Somebody does, though, Dan. Somebody does.
Kind of good.
Forget about Tua. He wasn't even the star of the show. The star of the show was the guy on the broadcast. What was up with him? Did you hear him? He was very excited. It was the first time he had called a game. I think his name is Collins. He does the Hornets broadcast also. Eric Collins. He was a little bit disorienting. He was very excited. I wasn't ready for that level of excitement. I wasn't ready for the Hispanic Rico.
We have a montage of his work yesterday.
And Donald, look at him! What kind of speed do you get, young man? To the end zone. Achan, did he? He did! Look at this! Donald, still on his feet! Caught back in the end zone. Xavier Leggett. Tungo Bailoa. Got his man. Touchdown, Waller! Young. Bryce Young got his man! Touchdown! 3rd and 10! Down goes Tagovailoa!
That's fun. You didn't like
3rd
that?
and 10!
Wait, you don't? You're negative on that? I love
that. I was negative on it. I was just disoriented by it when it was happening during the game. I was like, man, he's really excited for a 2nd and 6.
Gus Johnson vibes.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is just where I think we all are in life right now. Because when Gus Johnson was doing this like 8 years ago, everyone was like, this is awesome. I love this energy. And now this guy's doing it, like, oh, God, calm down. Rico! What are you so happy about? World sucks.
There were a couple of great catches in that game. I mean, Leggett and Achan had great catches, but you have to dress up the game a little bit, don't you? Was it Schlereth? Is that their 5th broadcast? What is that? Is that their 4th broadcast?
Who's counting?
No, but if I say nationally,
it's down there.
If I say nationally, hey, you got Carolina Dolphins this week. That's Schlereth is what, the 4th team or?
We don't have to count numbers. They're pretty low down there.
He was hilarious on that call.
I love that Schlereth doesn't give a bleep and has fun and has more fun than most of the broadcasters, but he's working with, his 40th partner here, and this guy swaggers into the booth and he's like, watch this, I got a little Latin flair and a little Gus Johnson for you, and Man 101 wants to slap him with 6 of his dead fingers in the face because he's like, another one of these turds coming around here trying to mess up the broadcast. Honor football, young man. Honor the sport down there. We're calling Carolina, and we're expecting 5 minutes left in the game. We're expecting a Tua over.
No one expected that game being featured on Red Zone as much as it was, right? I think it's more of a testament to how bad the 1 p.m. slate was, but I saw way too much of that game for my liking on Red Zone.
Man, what was the best one? We had Eagles, Broncos. That was like the good stuff.
Good game.
Guts.
No. Patriots, Bills. Like Drake May's good. And
but we were talking about
1 p.m.
I'm talking about that 1 p.m. slate.
Yeah. Witching hour. Even Scott Hansen was like, we got some work cut out ahead of us.
So Denver beats the Eagles. Eagles could be 0-5. That one's funny. because close games in that league. And I saw that the stat on Jalen Hurts is 10.5 home games, 0 interceptions. They just hold the ball, beat you up, and it's like new football. Lions and Eagles. Going to punch you in the face all the way down the field, and we're going to do it with Dan Campbell's mentality. And they've got the most physical teams in the league. And from behind them, here's Baker Mayfield galloping around on a stallion trying to throw a rope at oh, Sam Darnold, really? You're going to match me stat for stat as we're going to light up the skies, and Baker's going to take it from me at the end because Sam Darnold.
Doesn't matter. Who's out? Is Wirfs ever going to play for me? My franchise's greatest receiver is out. Bucky Irving, an absolute dog in the backfield, out. Doesn't matter. Best defense in the league, cross-country road trip, doesn't matter. Baker Mayfield, MVP.
You mentioned roping. I bet Baker Mayfield could rope a boat. For sure.
It is really cool to watch Baker Mayfield. I remember this show arguing, right, as the Cleveland Browns, swallowed him up. Just bad organization swallows up a dude who wants it so badly. The Browns, I saw yesterday, have gone 10 straight games scoring 17 or fewer points, trying to get a quarterback, trying to get Johnny Manziel, going with Joe Flacco, and then losing inexplicably a game to lead off your Sunday where Carson Wentz does something no one's done since the year 2000. 9 for 9 on a drive. That's the Brady era in there. No one has been as good on a late drive than he was when Myles Garrett is gassed and sitting on his helmet, and they got to call timeouts for Myles Garrett because he's tired of chasing Carson Wentz all over another country for this shit Browns team.
It was really important you knocked off those 11 seconds on the drive before Stefanski.
Right.
Myles Garrett is exhausted. It wasn't even about blocking him. I don't know what the hell they did to Myles Garrett. They were calling timeouts so Myles Garrett could sit down. Why? Because Carson Wentz was eating. Right down the field against the best defense in the league, Browns, there goes your season. Because we've got Justin Jefferson, 9 for 9. No quarterback has done it since 2000. That's the Brady years in there. Carson Wentz goes right down the field. Those two teams don't matter. They don't matter.
Vikings could matter. Vikings matter a little bit.
Where are you putting them?
Wild card adjacent.
Okay. Could be. I'll be playing meaningful games in December.
Good roster.
All right, wait a minute.
You don't think they'll be playing meaningful games in December?
Okay.
Good roster.
I don't want to go any further. I do not want to take one step further, okay? Not one, without talking about that Arizona game.
Oh, thank God.
No, because I have failed in not talking about the difference in that league between winning games and losing games, and the difference between being 3-1 or 2-2. The idea that the Arizona Cardinals lost a football game yesterday, and I am saying here out loud that not since the Vikings won a playoff game on the last play against the Saints have I been more surprised to see a team lose a game in the last 15 years of football than watching the way that Arizona lost this particular game against the Titans, who had Cam Ward throw an interception for a touchdown. That's the biggest touchdown that
for his team.
Yes. No, I'm going to try it again. I know I'm going to try this again. Look, I wrote down on notes where one of those I've never seen this play.
He threw a touchdown to Tyler Lockett.
He threw a touchdown to Tyler Lockett, and these are the notes on that play that I have. Cam Ward dropped back to pass for what might be the single most important pass that he's thrown this season, because that team was headed to 0-5. Didn't deserve to win this football game. Won this football game only because when Arizona was up 21-6 with Amari Descarado.
Yes. Keep going.
He goes 71 yards with the football, and then right before the goal line, casually lays it out, and it is not a touchdown. And instead of being up 28-6, the Arizona Cardinals lost a game yesterday that I think it might be the most inexplicable loss I have seen in 25 years watching football because of how the Titans did not deserve to win this game. But Cam Ward's game-winning interception. No, this is what it was. It was clutch by Cam Ward. Cam Ward gets his first win. Spencer Rattler took him 10. Cam Ward gets his first win because they're hard to come by. No matter how much Descarado throws the football game away.
Do you think Jonathan Gannon's helping the situation?
He had no reaction.
What do you mean he had no reaction? Throw up the video again. This is courtesy of local news. DeMarcado feeling terrible about what happened. Couldn't feel worse. Gannon. Yeah, no, let's strike the player. I'm sure that'll fix things.
I thought that guy's been hiding a suppressed rage behind the stoicism of having to coach that mountain of shit out in Arizona every year.
I think they've lost every game by a field goal at the end, right?
I don't know about you guys, but I'm someone that's constantly adding stuff to different carts on random websites. Like there's a teal Marlins hat that's been calling to me for like 2.5 years that I'm constantly getting advertisements for. Is something eventually I'll purchase because I keep those things in the cart. Then I see it, that beautiful glowing purple shop pay button. Boom, checkout's done. I don't even have to get up and find my wallet. That, my friends, is Shopify magic. That little purple button means that the store is powered by Shopify, which doesn't just make it easy to buy, but ridiculously easy to start and run your own business too. Whether you're a giant like Mattel or Gymshark or, just launching something weird from your garage, Shopify has your back. Let's be real, if we can run a show with this much chaos, you can run a business with Shopify. With hundreds of beautiful templates, tools for payments, inventory, analytics, marketing, it goes on, and it's all in one place. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Batard. Go to shopify.com/Batard. Shopify.com/Batard.
You ever try to name all your financial accounts and their balances, 401ks, investments, properties? I can barely remember what I had for lunch, let alone all that stuff. That's why I started using Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one finance tool that pulls everything together, your accounts, budgets, goals, into one clean dashboard on your phone or laptop. And let me tell you, it was a wake-up call. I found a 401k from some job I forgot existed, and it wasn't some small change. Ended up being a nice little chunk of change there for the boy. I realized that I had cash just sitting there doing nothing in my investments. Not as smart as I thought it was. Monarch makes all that obvious and actually feels doable. No spreadsheets, no hopping between apps, just a real clear view of my money. You can even share with your partner or financial advisor. No more wait. Let's see how much we spent on that coffee or that takeout. Monarch puts everything on the table, literally. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code DAN at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DAN.
What does Zyn give you? Not just smoke-free nicotine satisfaction, but real freedom. Freedom to do what you love and choose your rewards. With Zyn Rewards, you can redeem points for premium tech, outdoor gear, and gift cards to your favorite retailers. Find your Zyn and keep finding rewards that fit your lifestyle at zyn.com/rewards. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Don Le Batard.
Football.
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 Football. Football.
Stugotz. This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
If you do not know how they lost this football game, what I'm saying to you is a football player who would have given them a 28-6 lead, descarado, dropped the football again a week after it just happened.
It's debatable. I thought it was a touchdown.
Yeah. This is a tough break. Got a tough break.
A stupidity that should never happen again in the history of football, and yet happened two weeks ago and happens again today, goes from 28-6 to we're going to lose the football game because of the play I'm about to describe. I had to write it down, and I had to rewind it 6 times to make sure I got all of this right. Cam Ward drops back to pass, and it hits a hand. One hand tipped at the line of scrimmage of a Cardinal. Then it is caught by the 2 hands of another Cardinal, who drops to the ground and then tries to get up running, and the ball squirts out, whereupon it hits the one hand of one Cardinal, that foot of that same one hand, and then the other hand of the other Cardinal before it hits the hand and the 2 feet of another Cardinal and ends up in a touchdown for Tyler Lockett, whereupon I remember that Tyler Lockett had gone to the Titans to help Cam Ward because he hasn't made a play for him all season.
He went to the equipment manager and he's like, save that ball. I saw that. You can't advance a fumble, but since the ball went backward, touchdown Titans.
How do we coach out of the game the dropping the ball before the end zone? You coach them, run through the end zone with the ball.
I'm
you
sure
don't drop that ball until you are through the end zone.
That's right.
No, I don't mean that first line. You run through the back of the end zone.
I hate watching the Titans because I love Cameron Ward so much, and I feel like he's betrayed left and right by his receivers and his head coach. Brian Callahan does not deserve to have that victory. Deciding to not go for 2 in that spot, I mean, what is he doing?
I know what you're doing there, Paul.
But there were some yes, Cameron Ward, very fortunate to get that first dub. Let's not forget there were some absolute dots that were thrown all over that field. Cameron Ward made plays for that team. I think, look, we rattled off the stats of how Will Levis got off to a more impressive start in his career. It is rare for a team to be this bad with a quarterback taking number 1 where everyone watching knows problem's not the QB. They got to help the guy out.
Kyler Murray also turned the ball over on a snap that hit him in the face and might have sent him into concussion protocol.
They're claiming that was a leg injury.
Dan, I was Jason Garrett turning to the TV. I was like,
well, Tony, I've got to salute you on this, okay? Because I'm not out on Kyler Murray, but look. You talk about an unprecedented day for me because it hasn't been. I have not in 20 years said the U is back, but this is what I am willing to say about the Arizona Cardinals. They're just losers. Like, you lose a game like that, like you don't understand how stupid it is that the Tennessee Titans won that football game. The Tennessee Titans were terrible that entire game, and they've just got Cam Ward running around in circles trying to make plays across his body. He's got to throw the ball across his body like no other quarterback in his league because Calvin Ridley was spent 3 years ago, and he needs help. I'm not joking when I tell you, name the nominees on 25 years you've been watching football, and one of you tell me you saw the Arizona Titans game and have seen anything like that where you get 3 fluke plays, like just randomly fluke plays. Cam Ward lost the football game at the end. It was a bad interception. All you've got to do is fall on the floor and stay there. That's all. You don't have to do anything else. In a game where Geno Smith's career is over because he's throwing too many interceptions. In a game where the turnover is the most valuable of possessions, if I tell you right now, something happened in that Colts game where both kickers got hurt. The punter, first of all, getting a punt blocked when you're in full, like that, I'm surprised more legs don't snap and just end up in the bleachers.
That's what happened to me, dude. If I would have had that last kick, Dan, my leg would have gone over the house in the back. It's 50 yards back there.
Both kickers got hurt, and my immediate reaction was, I wonder if any of these coaches would take those 15 yards right now in the first quarter because the rest of the game, they can't use their kicker. They're going to have to go for 2 every time. I thought that immediately. If the game is predicated on you cannot turn the ball over. The Arizona Cardinals had it twice in their hands, and all they had to do was not move, go into full rigor mortis. Just don't drop the football. No one is going to touch the football. No one's going to bother you. All you had to do was that twice. I don't think you'll find a game in the last 25 years that you can counter me that with. What are you laughing about, Chris?
You're right. I'm trying to think.
Because the game would have been 28-6. And they were running away with it. The Titans were ready to go home. It's hard to travel. The body hurts. Cam Ward would have been fine going 28-6. Okay, you can have it, Arizona. We're not going to fight back. We're not going to fight you on this. It was clearly that decisive. Cleveland lost a game that way yesterday too. Like when the Cleveland Browns had a chance with Myles Garrett, who re-signed there, to save their season in a game that in every way they had won because Carson Wentz's offensive line is banged up and it's Carson Wentz. And with all mathematical improbabilities against them all, Carson Wentz had the best drive that there's been in 20 years at the end of a game in the 25 years at the end of a game in this sport, and it just kicks off your football Sunday.
And that's a crazy stat because I feel like I've seen 4 very recent Baker Mayfield games where he's doing that down the stretch. But that pass in the end zone, the ball placement there, that was almost as astonishing as the still image of Carson Wentz meeting Dylan Gabriel at midfield, and you realize Dylan Gabriel's very, very small. It was probably a bad draft.
Wentz is huge.
Oh, this part's funny, Tony, when I'm watching the University of Miami. Yes, Carson Wentz was the highest paid quarterback in the league, and Dylan Gabriel is never going to be because he can't throw the ball more than 10 yards downfield. He'll play one of these games where he gives you...
That's why he got drafted. Like, he's got a strong arm. He's just small. But Dan, to your point, it has to look a certain way. Yeah. And when you're that short playing in that uniform with the dude backing you up that everybody else wants to see, it just doesn't feel it. I have decades of experience being a Browns fan. Dylan Gabriel thing, I don't think it's going to work out.
I mean, even watching Panthers-Dolphins, you see these 2 little quarterbacks. And then you watch Sunday Night Football, Josh Allen, even Drake May looks good. You're just like, this is what it should look like. Why am I watching Panthers-Dolphins?
It's got to look a certain way,
Look at Kyler Murray.
Drake May.
He had that one move.
Good.
He had a good move, though, Dan. I'm not going to be a total hater. He had that one good move where he shook, I think it was a defensive end out of his shoes and scored a touchdown. Great.
The only way to overcompensate that is if you have an 8-foot moxie and cock the way that Baker Mayfield has. Wow.
Yeah, this is one of the things that's going to be in play as it relates to Baker Mayfield. I want to talk about that for a second. But first, let's get our nominees here. Chris Cody on Hampton Farms and the Nuttiest Fan. I'm nominating Michael Irvin as University of Miami mascot. I'm nominating all of his histrionics.
Let's build up. Let's build up to that. It's the Nuttiest Fan, brought to you by Hampton Farms. Get nutty with Hampton Farms, the official peanut of bowl season. Vote for your favorite Nutty Fan at Batard Show on Instagram, and be sure to keep an eye out for Lucy at Auburn if you think you are your team's Nuttiest Fan. First nominee, a sad shark leaving Chapel Hill down 35-3. Just not going well for Bill Belichick, and this shark decided to wear a shark costume and then was like, you know what, I'm out of here.
I got some breaking news for you guys. According to Ross Martin of 247 Sports, the University of North Carolina staff has been directed by Bill Belichick not to post or repost anything related to the Patriots, which explains why there were no posts about Drake May's performance Sunday night in the win over Buffalo, per Ross Martin of 247 Sports.
Not a good look.
Well, not a good look, but also amazing to watch the pettiness of Bill Belichick at North Carolina as the Patriots have now regrouped. It'll be one of his players, Vrabel, who brings them back because, oh, look, they hit on the quarterback. The North Carolina kid we all thought was a top 5 prospect while he was at North Carolina, and now North Carolina can't even celebrate it because they got Belichick on their hands.
Our second nominee for Nuttiest Fan by Hampton Farms are these Ohio State fans. Someone's got to explain this to me. They're at some point I guess they're at the shoe. They're all taking their shoes off and lifting their shoes in the air. This seems ridiculous, but they're all doing it at once. That had to be a smelly section, am I right? Yeah.
What is that? What is the history of that?
It's the shoe, Dan.
It's just the shoe?
They all take their shoes off.
Ohio State.
And then we build up our third nominee. We've already celebrated some of his antics with the belt. This is Michael Irvin with an FSU fan after the game.
Miami's a You still taking your ass home with that loss, though. Miami! Go home, grab that grease, get in your room. You got me. You got me, bro. You got me, bro. You got me, bro. You got me, bro. You got me. But you taking home that defeat, and you busting up Mary those 5 fingers tonight like a baby. Yo, that's legendary.
The fan. That's legendary.
Michael had time for him.
I love that because that was heated. You knew it wasn't going to get physical. It was just good, friendly banter between fan bases.
I don't know.
Did he know it wasn't going to get physical?
I think both of those. I mean, obviously, the FSU guy wasn't going to do anything. I think Michael Irvin was under control there, just giving the guy the business.
Control.
Just giving him the business.
That's under control.
I never thought he was going to hit him. Never thought he was going to hit him.
That's late at night. How does he still have this energy?
Fall's here. Kids are back in school, vacations are over, and cozy season is officially on. And you know what that means? Bombas season is on. I've been rocking their socks, tees, and underwear lately, and honestly, it's next level comfort. Merino wool keeps you warm but not sweating. Supima cotton is soft but tough. And that classic rag wool? That's straight up fall vibes. And it's not just socks. Bombas Sherpa lined Sunday slippers are perfect for staying in. And the EVA Friday slides, perfect for running out, grabbing coffee, or whatever. And the best part? Every item you buy, they donate one to someone experiencing homelessness. Over 150 million items donated so far. And with their happiness guarantee, if you're not loving it, they'll make it right. No risk, all reward. So yeah, treat yourself, feel good, and do something good while you're at it. Bombas has you covered this fall. Head over to bombas.com/Dan and use code DAN for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/Dan. Code Dan at checkout.
Hey, Jeremy, old buddy, old pal.
Hey, Mike.
I want to talk to you about Miller Lite. You and I have bonded over these last few weeks talking about our shared love of Miller Lite.
That's right.
A great partner of our show for practically its entire existence.
It's been a partner of this show since I was 10 years old.
And it's been around for 50 years, and they've been a part of our show for almost 20. We're approaching incredible partner status with Miller Lite.
I mean, to think that people were celebrating at my bar mitzvah with Miller Lite as they were a partner of this show is pretty incredible.
You're talking about the moments that are made better by making those times, those special times, Miller time. Jeremy, there's nothing like cracking open Miller Lite with your crew. This football season, it's especially true. Whether it's a touchdown you didn't see coming or just arguing about fantasy lineups you already know you're going to lose, Miller Lite has been the taste you can depend on for 50 years. Brewed for flavor with simple ingredients, rich toffee notes, that iconic golden color, and here's a kicker, Jeremy.
What's that?
It's just 96 calories.
I still can't believe that. We say it every week. I can't believe it.
It's just 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. It's the original light beer since 1975 and still hitting different 5 decades later. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Don Batard.
If Daniel Day-Lewis did it, you'd be jerking off all over yourself.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I would be.
Aggressive description.
I mean, what is it? What is that?
No, I'm just saying.
No,
you know what?
That's
You're
me.
just saying what?
That's me.
That was
Daniel
something
Day-Lewis
brewed
does
from
something.
yesterday, yeah.
I see that photo of Daniel Day-Lewis looking like Lincoln before he's about to start filming Lincoln. And you know what I do, Amin?
Stugotz.
I jerk off all over myself. That's what I do.
Lincoln, who you outed the other day?
Don't make this a rejoin.
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Are we still living in a world where you're going to assume that famous former football players just aren't going to attack you?
That's fair.
Mark Sanchez.
Yes.
Okay, you guys, I didn't know what to do with that story because this is how that story came out. So, Mark Sanchez was in Indianapolis for Colts Raiders. The Raiders season is a disaster. Pete Carroll regrets coming back. What am I doing with my life? Geno Smith's not going to fix this. I'm not going to be able to fix what plagues the Raiders. The story that comes out during the football Sunday, Mark Sanchez stabbed in stable condition. So there's an outpouring of worry for Mark Sanchez, former USC quarterback. The best thing the Jets have had at quarterback this century. The Jets are the worst. They're 0-5. They had 13 missed tackles in the first half yesterday, and when Dallas was trying to run out the clock just to run out the ball to halftime, they allowed a 70-yard run because the Jets are just awful. The last 3 coaches are 0-3 to start the season, and this is the worst of them, and he starts 0-5 because the Jets are a sinking pit, and Justin Fields and nobody there is going to fix anything. No disputes. Case closed.
No, sounds good for me.
Can we put them in the file?
Moving on.
Let's keep getting those Garrett Wilson overs, though. We like those.
But we could just put that off to the side and finish the Jet season yesterday, correct? We're all done. Everybody, there will be no coming back from that. So then all of us, there was an outpouring for Mark Sanchez, but then the next thing that happened was reports Mark Sanchez has been arrested. And so what I thought was, good God, how has he been stabbed in a fight? What happened at a nightclub? What drunkenness was there? There's just information that he's been stabbed. What are the details here? The next thing is the police report is, he's not a victim here necessarily. He's not in the police report as a victim, and now he's being arrested at the airport. What happened here? And then the detail I get this morning is 69-year-old truck driver. And so now I only have these small bits of information on whatever was happening in an alley in Indianapolis late at night. But then there's and then pepper spray is one of the details too, that Mark Sanchez had been pepper sprayed. And that's the only information I have on what happened in a dark alley that ends with Mark Sanchez being stabbed.
There are details that are still coming out. Again, this is all alleged, but there was an altercation that happened in a loading dock. Mark Sanchez allegedly took exception to how this delivery driver was parking, invoked the manager wouldn't want you to be there, attacked the 69-year-old, which, by the way, there are some photos that have surfaced online of the condition that victim is in.
We don't want to watch any of those, right? We don't want to.
The picture is brutal.
It is hard to look at. The man apparently defended himself, attempted to pepper spray Mark Sanchez, which, according to what's out there, for the moment stopped him, but then Mark Sanchez went again to attack the man, who then defended himself. And thankfully, I did a cursory search before, and I found it very odd that Mark Sanchez wasn't the listed victim on this, which gave people pause that I'm sure some people in the media regret not displaying initially, because the takes were flying, Dan.
Mark Sanchez, well, we do this one all the time, though, just make all of these people who are many different things, we turn them into one thing that we know and put them in the easy compartment. I'm assuming that in his broadcast career, people feel like they know Mark Sanchez. They saw his career at USC. They saw him be great for the Jets as a broadcaster. He's got it all together, and I have no idea what happened in an alley at 3:30 in the morning in Indianapolis that involved pepper spray. And I assume that if there was a stabbing, I assume like a box cutter. My mind can go in all places of imagination, but Mark Sanchez is in stable condition at the hospital because he too was harmed by whatever it is that happened in this alley.
When you see the arrest details too, public intoxication was among the things that were listed, so you know that there were some other things at play here.
He allegedly tried to force his way into the guy's truck. The guys pepper sprayed him, ran away. He chased him down, and then he got. It's obviously, and also, by the way, while he was clearly wrong in attacking an old man, you're not happy that he got stabbed, and you do hope that he has a speedy recovery, even though obviously he seems to have been the aggressor in this situation.
And the details are bad too when you hear that the truck driver, who's 69 years old, takes down and turns down his hearing aids because the truck is really loud in the alley. So I think the dispute was Mark Sanchez was trying to talk to him. He couldn't hear him because he didn't have his hearing aids in, and that's kind of how things got started.
Allegedly. Detective Tony's on it.
I read.
Well, this
kind of crazy, huh?
Well,
it's like, what?
Okay, so here we are now.
Tony, find out more.
All avoidable, Tony, if Spiro Dedes was just where he was supposed to be.
Thank you, exactly
and
right.
That was a CBS game. It should have never been a Fox game.
Exactly right.
Some people were calling this one out beforehand. It's a Fox game. This doesn't make sense. That should be Spiro.
Loading docks are weird, right?
They are.
Like, they're not a uniform height for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
If they
what do you
were
mean
all,
by that?
Well, like some loading docks are not tall enough for the trucks that are bringing in deliveries.
I thought they're all designed for like 18-wheelers.
Yeah. You would think, right? But like, I don't know if you guys drive here, but in the morning sometimes there's often trucks making deliveries, and they just take up one lane of traffic because the loading dock in a new building only has like 15-foot clearance, and I guess this thing's like 18 or 19 feet tall, which I don't understand why you don't have like a universal height for loading docks, which then lead to traffic jams. And, I don't know if that's what was at play here. I'm not going to look to excuse anyone's obviously horrible behavior, but you do wonder if that had a higher maybe clearance, maybe this would have been avoided.
It is a weird thing to get hung up on where he's like, hey, you got to move this truck, bro. And it's like,
at like 3 in the morning, I'd be like, you're walking around like,
what are you
and
doing
at first
here?
it was a DoorDash driver. I mean, that was a massive order if he was driving an 18-wheeler.
So, Billy, I do imagine that wherever it is that your life gets busy on the weekend because the fatherhood is hard, I would imagine that you would do some really pretty rigorous sleuthing about wherever your imagination would take you once you get the details of stabbing and now arrested to what happened in that alley when you throw a 69-year-old truck driver into the mix. I think we all went the same places with our imagination on being, that's too bad for Mark Sanchez. I wonder what happened, what kind of drinking was involved, who'd he get into a fight with, to he's been arrested, to wait a minute, what are the details here? Why is a man...
You see the photos, you're like, Jesus.
So what? And so then after that, everyone's like, well, if he's pepper sprayed, now we're just wondering about substances or whatever it is that the mind will do in the imagination of what happened in that Indianapolis alley at 3:00 in the morning. Is that fair?
It is when public intoxication is one of the things that are listed for us to peruse. These are not the actions of someone of a clear mind, if we're to believe what's in the reports. That is not That is shocking behavior for Mark Sanchez, which is why the takes were flying, because surely no one in their minds could concoct this situation. If I told you this ahead of time, it's like a random name generator with random violence. It doesn't compute.
Tony will continue to gather.
It's also very rare where the person who was stabbed multiple times was very clearly in the wrong here.
I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to how it is America sells its football, and Tom Brady is the most expensive guy because he smiles and he'll interview your receiver after the game. Mark Sanchez carved a lane through New York media of being not one of these great quarterbacks, but a poster boy for USC football, a poster boy for winning, and the most successful Jets quarterback that there's been in 25 years. And I still imagine him more as somebody in a suit walking around as a broadcaster, because his post-career, as I get to live off the fame of being a former quarterback, I, for some reason, visually, when my imagination was thinking on these details very glancingly, I'm imagining him in his broadcast gear because I've seen him more in a suit than I have in a uniform recently.
And there goes the one Latino Fox ad.
Oh!
During Hispanic Heritage Month.
You guys got me, though, with all the guys they got on baseball, Pedro and Big Papi.
Yeah,
they flooded the zone. They flooded the zone. You might came back with Hector Gomez as the big Latin personality that's get to flourish throughout the media these days. How many seasons can we be done with? The Browning experiment in Cincinnati, everything there is over, and it will all be built on whatever Joe Burrow's body can withstand later, so he can make T. Higgins look. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins can only look that way for Burrow. Browning will throw 3 interceptions a game. Can't have that anymore. That doesn't work in today's league. Like that was very maybe get you to the playoffs in a game of slinging it one day, but we don't play that way anymore, kid.
It's almost like they should try to trade for somebody else to salvage a little bit of the season, maybe.
It's over.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to outscore people with Burrow last year, and they could not.
Yeah.
Look, I think we can bury some things after this first month of the season.
We got Jets already. We wrote down Jets.
I had Hercules Gonzalez. I didn't know who Hector Gomez was. As fate would have it, he is a former baseball player, but not presently in media.
Okay. Thank you for bailing me out there. Yes. Hector Gomez.
You're good, though, Dan. You're good.
I don't think I should be good there, though. I think
Hercules Gomez, Hector Gomez.
I was going to say, you said Hercules Gonzalez, who I didn't also know.
Hercules? Well, look, I guess we're all in the wrong here, and this actually underscores why there needs to be more representation.
So, Schlittler is a name that I have seen. The Blue Jays are clubbing the Yankees right now, 2 straight games. And I meant to mention this the other day when Cam Schlittler ends up striking out 12, something he hadn't done at any level of baseball before, any time he'd ever played, but did it in a game. That a couple of times this season I've been listening on the radio and a broadcaster slips up on Schlittler, which is a scary word, and then backtracks and like you can hit a table pounded. Like I messed that up. I knew that was going to happen. Schlittler, one of the most dangerous names we've ever had in sports broadcasting. Mad Dog butchered this, I'm told.
Let me start here, and then we'll get into Schlittler, who obviously was Schlittler.
So he kind of botched it, and he's like, I need to re-say this.
Let me start here, and then we'll get into Schlittler, who obviously was Schlittler. Let me start here, and then we'll get into Schlittler, who obviously was Schlittler.
How about Gronk? What did Gronk mess up this weekend?
Rookie sensation, wide receiver out of Ohio State, Emeka Egbuka, going for over 100 yards. Emeka Egbuka. I'm getting confused. Emeka Egbuka.
That kid's good.
Emeka Egbuka.
He's good, man. Baker Mayfield likes throwing 30-yard darts no one else is throwing.
Emeka Egbuka going for over.
You guys better learn that name. I just saw a Hall of Famer go to the locker room, and this guy took his job.
Emeka Egbuka.
Mike Evans was doing the 1,000-yard seasons there. He got 12 of them as the freak from the past from Texas A&M because he was different than everyone else. And job stolen.
Emeka Egbuka.
Tampa's got to be legitimately good. That division is terrible. And, Baker Mayfield might have a 3-turnover game. But I cannot imagine what Carolina Panther fans feel when they see Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield in the stat lines in the fourth quarter of that game. Oh, it's like ping, ping, 35-35. They're going down the field. Okay, both of these quarterbacks are going to do it with whoever it is we put out there with them, because at this point, Baker Mayfield has had a great many injuries. For them to go into Seattle, when you saw what Seattle did to the Saints, like Seattle's good. Seattle's obviously a team that is physical and good. To go in there and win and sling it out at the end again, because Baker Mayfield's that guy, he might as well play in cowboy boots, man. Like he might as well have a cigarette back there in terms of how much he's enjoying. Okay, some guys took the Tom Brady, Peyton Manning route of public perception, or Mark Sanchez, or however it is I'm going to present myself to the media and America as face of quarterbacking today. There's only one playing right now that feels and looks like the attitude Favre had when he was the different one with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. There's only one quarterback out there playing like that, where it's like, oh, shit, he doesn't care who's with him. He's going to keep slinging it 25, 30 yards at a time. Go ahead and beat him. You're going to leave him 2 minutes? That's too much. You've left him too much. He's going to beat you on the road in Seattle. You think your defense is good? No, not as good as this is late in games.
It might be good. It might be best in the league good. Don't matter, because he's got an 8-foot cock.
There's something interesting happening there. Baker Mayfield's had a rough...
Go on.
It's been a rough ride. He was this close to being back up, never getting any of these chances anymore. And now he's got the biggest bravado in the league. Like now,
yeah, he does.
Yeah, that bravado's huge. Weighs about 45 pounds.
It's impressive to see a team that we don't think is good as the elite teams, their quarterback saying again and again on the road, however you want to play the game, yes, we are.
He doesn't have moxie. He has coxie. Wow. Hey, Jeremy, old buddy, old pal.
Hey, Mike.
I want to talk to you about Miller Lite. You and I have bonded over these last few weeks talking about our shared love of Miller Lite.
That's right.
A great partner of our show for practically its entire existence.
It's been a partner of this show since I was 10 years old.
And it's been around for 50 years, and they've been a part of our show for almost 20. We're approaching incredible partner status with Miller Lite.
I mean, to think that people were celebrating at my bar mitzvah with Miller Lite as they were a partner of this show is pretty incredible.
You're talking about the moments that are made better by making those times, those special times, Miller time. Jeremy, there's nothing like cracking open Miller Lite with your crew. This football season, it's especially true. Whether it's a touchdown you didn't see coming or just arguing about fantasy lineups you already know you're going to lose, Miller Lite has been the taste you can depend on for 50 years. Brewed for flavor with simple ingredients, rich toffee notes, that iconic golden color, and here's a kicker, Jeremy.
What's that?
It's just 96 calories.
I still can't believe that. We say it every week. I can't believe it.
It's just 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. It's the original light beer since 1975 and still hitting different 5 decades later. Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.